Hi everyone, it's me again, your Marcus from Horntools. Today we're going to do a little comparison between a hard shell tent and a folding tent. If you're currently asking yourself which tent is right for you, I hope this video will help you out a bit. First, you need to ask yourself how you want to use your tent. Am I someone who likes to change locations every day, or do I go somewhere and stay for a day or two? Do I set up my camp there and only move on afterwards, or maybe I'm even someone who stays in one place for a week? Another big topic, of course, is how many people I'm traveling with and how many people actually need to sleep in the rooftop tent with me. Another important topic is, of course, which vehicle I'm mounting my tent on, because as you can see with the hardshell tent, we have a fixed size. It is about 2.10 meters, which obviously also has to fit on my car. A folding tent is a bit more convenient in that regard, since it's a bit smaller when packed. That fits on almost any car. With a large hardshell tent, I really have to make sure that my vehicle is big enough for it to fit on top. As you can see here, we have a width of about 1.40 meters. That easily fits on any car. Another important topic when it comes to roof tents, when choosing a roof tent, is also your vehicle's roof load capacity. For that, you just need to check the user manual or operating instructions of your vehicle to see what the dynamic roof load of your vehicle is. The dynamic load refers to the load while driving. With a roof tent, we're talking about a weight of around 70 kilograms, and for a folding tent, between 50 and 90 kilograms if you choose the largest version of the roof tent. The static load of the vehicle is, of course, much higher. So when you're parked at the campsite or at your spot, the load that the roof can support when stationary is 3 to 4 times higher. So there's absolutely no problem with sleeping inside, but while driving you do need to make sure that the load doesn't get too high. If you often change spots with your roof tent or want to use the tent spontaneously, then I recommend a pop-up roof tent, a hardshell roof tent, because it's quicker and easier to set up, making the tent ready to use in no time. Another advantage of the hardshell roof tent is, of course, the lower overall height and the aerodynamics of the tent. When the tent is mounted on the roof with lower vehicles, you can sometimes still use underground parking garages, which really becomes problematic with a folding tent. Additionally, thanks to the aerodynamics, you have lower fuel consumption while driving. And of course, there is also less wind noise. Now let's talk about the advantages of the folding tent. With the folding tent, you already have a larger covered area in front of or next to the car, simply due to the design of the tent. Because you can fold out the floor and also have an awning, you can sit protected from wind and weather under the car, or rather, sit under the rooftop tent. With this rooftop tent, you also have the option to attach an annex, so the entire area is protected from the weather. The annex also comes with a floor, which means if it rains for a longer period, you can change clothes standing up in here, or for example, have breakfast inside, etc. And you simply have a sheltered space. Another advantage of the folding tent is that thanks to the quick release fasteners, I can also remove the ladder, giving me even more covered space that I can use. However, while the ladder is removed, you must not use the rooftop tent itself. No one is allowed to be inside the tent, since the ladder is always a load-bearing part. As you can already see here with the Themis hardshell tent, the covered area with the Themis is noticeably smaller, but it has the advantage that you don't have to spend a long time staking anything out or securing anything down. You can simply set it up, put in the tension rods, and that's it. Another advantage of the Themis hardshell roof tent is that you can simply move the entrance to the back if you have less space on the side. Just hook the ladder into the brackets at the back and you can enter the tent from the rear. Of course, one advantage of the folding tent is its spaciousness. As you can see, I have a lot of headroom here, and with 4 different sizes, we also have the option to let up to 4 people sleep in a roof tent, ranging from 1.20 meters to 2.20 meters wide. Furthermore, there are many other ways to further equip the roof tent. For example, we have our shoe pockets, we have our organizer for the roof tent, we have the mattress pad, the 3D mesh to prevent condensation from forming under the mattress. And we also have the thermal inner tent for the roof tent. As you can see, the thermal inner tent is incredibly quick to set up. Now let's talk about the advantages of the hardshell tent. As you can see, I also have enough space here to sit comfortably. In addition, we have a cargo net that is already included. Here I can store my things for sleeping. We also have an insulated lid and an insulated base, which help keep the warmth in or the cold out a bit. They help keep the cold out a little. And we have another advantage. With the pop-up hard shell tent, I don't change the shape of the vehicle, or rather, I'm not folding anything outwards. That's why in some countries this doesn't count as camping, so I can spend the night in a parking lot without any problems. So, I hope I was able to give you a few ideas to think about when choosing your rooftop tent. To wrap up, here's a brief conclusion. Think about what you need your rooftop tent for, how many people you want to travel with, and what your budget is. And of course, which vehicle you want to mount your rooftop tent on. That way, you should be able to make the perfect choice for yourselves. I wish you lots of fun with your rooftop tent.